repeat applicants. So some of you may have been applying for multiple years, and then what challenges you faced and how you overcame. So Sukrut, Vikram, some of those who applied as repeat applicants. So let me start with Dr. Sukrut Pagat. Why don't you introduce yourself, and then we'll, after your experience, we'll go to Dr. Vikram Vilani.
Thank you, Pawan. So my background is that I graduated in 2017, and I graduated from the Middle East. And this is my third attempt. The first attempt was 2018, 2019, and 2020. And after each, after learning not matching, every single time I learned I didn't match, though I was distraught and devastated, I did find a way to pick myself up and have a game plan and sort of tackle the deficiencies in my applications. So I have a mediocre scores. So my scores are 211, 230, pass in CS, and 217 on step 3. So I have a very, very below average score, and I was adamant on applying for internal medicine specialty. That's the only thing I wanted to do. That's the only thing I applied for. That's the only thing that's on my CV. So despite the scores that you cannot change, so I decided to gain more clinical experience. So I did a couple of months of sub-internship at a hospital. I decided to bulk up my CV by getting involved in research publication, and that's where Sarthi comes in. They help you. They have a research course that can help you publish research articles. So that's where I helped strengthen my application. Third thing is, again, getting done with step 3. I cannot emphasize is that every single panelist here will tell you the importance of step 3. It is one of the most important thing for an international medical graduates. Even if you have extremely high scores of 230, 240 in step 1, do not stop or do not delay taking a step 3, because it is a requirement now for an IMG. It's something that it's granted that you need to take. So step 3, US clinical experience, research publications. And one thing that from an applicant, everybody is going to talk about their story. So I'm not going to try to overlap and say same things, but what is different in my story is I was very, very aggressive with my program outreach. And what I mean by that is prior to the submission of applications, about 2 to 3 weeks, I sent an email to everybody saying that, I'm applying to your program. This is what I bring to the table. Didn't receive any response. It's fine. After the submission of my application, I sent out another email. I sent out another email every single week. And you believe it or not, I received 2 to 3 interviews because of that letter of interest. And the program that I matched was they sent an invite to me because of the letter of interest. And they spent about 30 minutes just talking to me, 30 to 1 hour talking to me. And I fell in love with that program. So I cannot emphasize, having a complete thing. Scores is not the only thing. CV, there are so many nuances to CV that we as an IMG don't really understand and don't really tackle. And that's where you need a mentor to guide you to this process. It just doesn't stop at, I have a 230, 240, and I have 2 to 3 months of clinical experience, 3 LOs. No, it doesn't stop there. Your CV has to be perfect. Your personal statement has to be perfect. Your research publications has to be perfect. Your program outreach has to be perfect. So do not take lightly the mentorship aspect of whoever it be. So yeah, that's my story, and yeah.
Thank you very much, Sukrut. Very inspiring as always. So Vikram, now let's go to you. You've tried, I think this is your third time, but you did also match into your dream specialty with limited number of interviews. What were the challenges and what did you do differently this year?
Hello, my name is Vikram Preet. And I've been applying, as Sukrut said, also since 2017, and I got ECFMG certified in 2017. So I went unmatched all those 3 years, and so my strategies were changed when I met Sarthi because they guided me to the right direction. I was always focused on neurology, so I always knew this is what I wanted. And I kept building my CV in that. I kept getting more clinical experience in that, doing publications and research work. Until there was this COVID times, that was very challenging. So I did not want to interrupt my, clinical rotation. So I took some tele-rotations through Sarthi. And I think that was very beneficial for me because in my interviews, I was really, they really talked about that with me, that, you've been engaged in this field, through this time as well. And which they found very impressive that at least I did not, I wasn't doing anything. I'm just working in India. And Another thing that was a game changer for me in this season was the letter of interest, which has Sarthi has always emphasized and how important it is. And Suprut has just mentioned about it. And I really got some invites because of just my letter of interest, just conveying my interest. Because being an older grad and a repeat applicant, sometimes your application might just get filtered, and so it's very important for you to reach out to the program and convey your interest to them. So that was a game changer for me. And there was another thing, the interview preparation. I think we all need some professional help with people who are of vast experience in this. And I really have to thank Sarthi for that, because they will help you to talk about in the interviews how you cover your red flags, and if you have anything on your application that really needs to be addressed, and you might not be prepared for that. So it's very important to have a very great preparation for your interviews, and especially if you're an old grad and a repeat applicant. So I think these were the things which were a game changer for me, and they helped me match.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Now let's go to Venus. Venus, you are also a repeat applicant, but you followed a different strategy. In pandemic, you were all over New York, chasing every rotation. So why don't you talk about your challenges in the pandemic and how you did it?
Yeah, thank you, Pawan. Hi, everyone. This is Venus Sharma. I am an IMG from India. So obviously, I was shattered when I received that email that, sorry, you're not matched in March. But yeah, I picked myself up and started working towards my goal again. And while being in India, all the transportation was not there. Flights were all canceled. So I started doing telerotations there from India only. I did 2 telerotations, one from Chicago and then another one from Miami. And as everybody mentioned, I cannot emphasize enough on the importance of step 3. Whether you are a recent graduate or an older graduate, step 3 is very, very important for an IMG. And as Dr. Pagat mentioned, that program outreach, aggressive program outreach is very important. I started it from mid of June, taking the advice from Sarthi team itself. I started sending them emails from June itself. Firstly, I did it monthly, and then every 15 days. And after I applied, almost every week, I send them emails. And yes, talking about my USCE during the pandemic in New York, I was all over the place. I did US clinical experience from November till February. And during each and every interview of mine, I was asked this question: what are you doing right now? Where are you? Are you working somewhere? Where are you situated? Are you in India or are you working there? Means they were expecting you to work somewhere even during the pandemic. And they were quite impressed when I told them that, yes, I'm working as an observer here in a clinic with this and this doctor. And I guess almost 10 minutes were there. What are your responsibilities? What do you do in that clinic? Are you seeing COVID patients and everything? So I feel that USCE is very, very important. Even during your interview season, doing USCE is something which has helped me. And that's why I matched into my dream residency and into the dream program of mine. And I cannot thank Sarthi team enough. And I guess it was the best decision of my life to join Sarthi. And again, mentors, I cannot thank Dr. Koshi enough. My interview skills were polished. The mock interviews are really, really, really very helpful. And they definitely, I was not taken by surprise by any question. I feel like I was navigating whole of my interview. So yeah, the interview skills are another important things which everyone need to emphasize on. So yeah, this was my journey.
Thank you, Venus.